Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? Muy buenos días. Bienvenidos a una sesión más de Open Mat Talks. Sí, señor. Su taza, mi estimado. Ahora sí.
Mi estimado, aquí está. Ahora sí, claro que la tenemos completa. Open Mat Talks.
Le damos la bienvenida al sensei tremendísimo Rodrigo Salas. ¿Qué tal, sensei? ¿Cómo estamos?
Bien, ¿cómo estás, mi estimado Frank? Un gusto, otro sábado más. Como bien dices, otra vez en nuestro programa Open Mat Talks, que cada vez que ya me toca salir, nos ven, le gusta a la gente el concepto de esta mentalidad abierta. Y pues obviamente, como todos los sábados, no es la excepción, tenemos un gran invitado, y el cual obviamente, como dice el título, aparte de Kenpo, mi estimado Fran, vamos a hablar de defensa personal, y por primera vez, no que otros invitados no lo hayan hecho, pero ya tenemos en el cartel la palabra bullying. Hoy vamos a hablar de incluso un sistema que nuestro invitado ha hablado un poquito. Entonces para mí me encanta hablar de ese tema, desgraciadamente como un problema, pero pues listos para recibir a nuestro gran invitado. Y si ahorita, por favor, antes de pasar a él, pues podemos ver dónde nos están viendo, International Hall of Fame, Open Mic Talks en YouTube, en Facebook, las publicaciones de la revista, mi estimado Frank. También ya tienes un videíto que ya compartimos donde pues vamos a hablar de tu app. Ahora sí nos quedaremos un poquito para los postcréditos. Y pues bienvenido a toda la gente, empiecen a escribir sus saludos. Adelante, mi estimado Frank.
Bien, estamos transmitiendo en vivo por Facebook en nuestra página de Open Mat Talks. Sí, señor, ahí nos puede seguir, métase a la página, dele like, dele me gusta, dele síganos, nos ayuda mucho. Cada uno de ustedes, cada uno, tú que me estás viendo, si le das clic, sí generas la diferencia. Por favor, dele clic. También estamos...
Perdón, mi estimado Frank, ¿se habrá cortado tu señal? Bueno, perdón, compañeros, no sé si estoy en vivo. El maestro Fran a lo mejor tuvo un problema con la transmisión. Déjenme tratar de conectarme otra vez para volver a estar todos juntos. Ok, estamos desconectados.
Se nos salió el señor Kelley. Tuvimos un pequeño problema técnico aquí. ¿Estás ahí, Rodrigo? ¿Me escuchas?
Sí, mi estimado Frank, ya tuve que salirme también y volverme a conectarme, quedé conectado. Pero pues bueno, me salí tantito para ir por nuestra playera.
Si me caigo, usted siga hablando, siga platicando y comentando. Una disculpa, por favor. Ok, tenemos un pequeño problema técnico. We had some technical problems, sir. Our guest, sorry, but we'll continue on. Ok, entonces, estamos transmitiendo en vivo. Si me vuelvo a caer, Rodrigo, por favor, continúa hablando.
Claro
la
que
página
sí.
sigue abierta, no pasa nada, ¿ok?
Perfecto, estimado Frank.
Bien. Entonces, estamos transmitiendo en vivo y en directo desde nuestra página de YouTube, nuestro canal de YouTube, Open Mat Talks. Por favor, suscríbase al canal, eso nos ayuda mucho. Me disculpo nuevamente por el pequeño problema técnico, pero así pasa cuando estamos transmitiendo en vivo. That happens when we go live. Sorry about that. Mi máquina, my computer is doing tricks on me, playing tricks on me. Sorry, una disculpa. Ok. Entonces, si vuelve a pasar, Rodrigo, por favor, te encargo ahí.
Claro que sí, estoy checando, por supuesto, mi estimado Frank.
Adelante, gracias. También estamos transmitiendo en vivo y en directo desde la página de Facebook de International Hall of Fame, revista de Argentina. Ahí la tiene, revista International Hall of Fame de Argentina. Este es la del mes de junio y ahí tenemos nuestro artículo en Striking Art versus Grappling Art, cuál es más efectivo. Y de hecho, próximamente vamos a tener un artículo escrito por el sensei Rodrigo Salas. Claro que sí. Sí, señor. Él no sabe, pero sí. Ya lo sabe.
Claro, me lo acabas de decir ahorita, mi estimado Frank, sobre el tema.
Era sorpresa, pero ya se enteró. Ok. También, por favor, les pedimos que escriban comentarios y manden sus preguntas. Bien, el día de hoy tenemos un gran invitado. We have a great guest, gran invitado, Master Sean Kelley. Antes de irnos, ahí están las camisetas de Open Mat Talks, sus playeras, ahí las vamos a tener después disponibles para todos. Ya por fin me pusieron estrellita, sí. Me saqué un 10, salieron las playeras, así que ahí están también. Señores, el día de hoy tenemos un gran invitado, el Master Sean Kelley desde Florida, USA. El maestro Kelley es un experto en Kenpo, otra palomita para mí, pero...
Ya sigo yo, Frank, ya vas 3, ya. Siguiente.
Pero él va más allá del Kenpo, ¿sí? Se enfoca también, está muy involucrado con la cuestión de el crecimiento personal. Él me mandó este tremendo libro del señor famosísimo John Maxwell, Change Your World, Cambia tu Mundo. Muy buena lectura, también está en español por ahí. Es nuevo el libro, sí, yo lo quiero y lo atesoro mucho. Gracias, maestro, por este libro, sí, con todo y pluma. Miren, déjame presumirle la pluma. A ver, sí, mira. The John Maxwell Team. Ya me siento parte del equipo yo, claro que sí. Y el maestro Sean Kelley es una celebridad internacional del Kenpo, es una personalidad del arte, alumno directo del finado Senior Grandmaster Ed Parker, uno de los grandes promotores del Kenpo a nivel mundial, de hecho, con escuelas filiales en diferentes partes del mundo, entre ellas está Chile, que la próxima semana tendremos aquí con nosotros a otro maestro de Kenpo. Junio fue... me tenía yo que emparejar porque tuvimos aquí al gran Master Horion Gracie, entonces teníamos que emparejar la balanza porque esa estuvo muy buena, mi estimado sensei. Así que vamos a traer, si te parece, al maestro Sean Kelley, que nos va a hablar sobre el Kenpo, la defensa personal y el bullying. Hello, sir. Let's welcome Master Sean Kelley. Hello, sir. Sorry about the technical problems. We're back.
Oh, that's all right. And let me see if I could do my introduction. What's up?
Ya vas a tener que mandar para introducción, Frank. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Sean Kelley. It's an honor.
How are you, my friend? How are you? Nice.
My
pleasure
to meet you. So it's an honor and pleasure to have you, and it's going to be a great talk here in Open Mat Talks. And the idea is about yourself, about your background, and for me, the most important, I guess, is the bully system that you created, you have to share with the audience, because right now the important for us, always here in Mexico and around the world, is the self-defense, the self-defense part. And I see Master Frank Soto has the book, and so we can start to talk about that, and then share about the book and yourself. So be my guest. It's a pleasure to have you here, and welcome, Master Frank.
Cool.
Okay, sir, I'm going to be translating everything into español, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure.
We get the audience. Le estamos dando la bienvenida, el sensei Rodrigo le da la bienvenida y le dice que muchas gracias de estar aquí y que vamos a estar hablando, que es muy importante hablar de la parte, no nada más del arte marcial, sino de la defensa personal, de su sistema anti-bullying o pisotón al bullying, Stomp the Bullying, y también sobre su trabajo con el libro que mandó y todas estas cosas, porque el maestro Kelley está muy activo en diferentes áreas, todas relacionadas con el crecimiento personal, las artes marciales, el servicio a la comunidad, etc. So, sir, please, you were going to say something.
Well, first of all, as far as my background is concerned, I think we talked about that in the beginning of my last time on the show. And, you know, it can be research. You could just kind of Google my name, Sean Kelley and Kenpo. But I think this time around, I'd like to compliment the gentleman here, is it Rodrigo? Is that how I pronounce it?
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Okay. You guys are a master in your craft. And I think we're all trying to master our lifestyle and master the surroundings of our environment by being an influence and showing value in other people. When we have new students that come into our doors, it's not like back in the 70s or even the 80s and sometimes even the 90s where there was a new Chuck Norris or a Jackie Chan or a Bruce Lee time and era in movie that excited us, or even the Karate Kid movies. Now we have situations. We have now with the bullying situation, it's an international, it's global. It happened when I was a child. I'm sure it happened to you guys, or at least you know of someone. But now we're at that point where we're dealing with suicide. When we start losing lives instead of protecting and changing lives for the better, I think in our society today, we as facilitators, coaches, I consider myself a professional. I'm not an amateur. And what makes me a professional is that I'm always looking for new ways to communicate my passion and to connect to my audience. And once you profile a customer or a client and get to the real reason why they're there to see you, you're on a journey. This is not a destination. We are on a journey. The destination is to get through them on their time scheduled problem of probably trauma that's happened to them psychologically and or physically. That emotional trauma is why they came to us, referred to us, or in history in itself, the martial arts, we are a different breed of people.
Perfect. Can you just wait for Frank's
okay. Ok, maestro nos está hablando, primero que nada, felicita acá a la iniciativa y al maestro Rodrigo y nos dice que somos maestros de nuestro oficio, tenemos maestría en el oficio y eso es muy importante. Dice que en los 70s, 80s y 90s teníamos pues artistas marciales que iban haciendo como Chuck Norris, que se iban haciendo famosos, pues Jackie Chan, etcétera, aún el Karate Kid, ¿sí? Pero hoy por hoy, el problema que tenemos todos a nivel internacional y a nivel global es el problema del bullying, ¿sí? Que es un problema que está en nuestros niños de nuestras comunidades y tenemos también problemas donde hay no nada más el bullying, sino ya hay también suicidios debido a esto, ¿sí? Entonces, cuando empezamos a perder vidas, en lugar de proteger las vidas, no las estamos protegiendo, las estamos perdiendo, tenemos un problema grave. ¿Sí? Entonces comenta el maestro que él es un profesional, él es un coach profesional en su trabajo y lo que lo hace profesional es que tiene nuevas formas de comunicar, siempre está buscando nuevas formas de comunicar su mensaje a su audiencia, ¿sí? Una vez que tú identificas y conectas con tu audiencia, identificas el perfil de tu cliente, esto se convierte en un viaje, ¿sí? El viaje es más importante que el destino porque el destino es llegar a ellos, ¿sí? En ese proceso, en ese viaje, ¿ok? Entonces, la gente que se acerca a nosotros es porque tiene algún tipo de trauma psicológico, trauma físico, ¿sí? Y eso fue lo que los trajo a las artes marciales o los acercó al trabajo de profesionales en este tipo de áreas, ¿sí? Que somos nosotros, dice, ¿ok? Y habla de que el artista marcial es un tipo diferente de raza, podemos decir, de crianza, tiene otro tipo de crianza. Okay, sir?
The topic of bullying is pretty, there's a lot of variables. Now more than ever, we have cyberbullying. Yeah. I was nominated to attend and participate in the FBI Citizens Academy in 2000, I believe it was 16 or 17. I was an FBI agent nominated me to come and be a participant. And it was probably one of the most profound experiences I ever had. I've been in the security business and did bodyguard work. I'm sure, Master Frank, you and I have talked about things about personal safety. And Master Rodrigo, we are in the business to teach people how to protect their peace, their children, their communities, and instead of going toward the direction of the wrong and bad road, these young people or even older people, adults who have been bullied even in the corporate arena are looking for a place to connect to. And maybe it could be what we can provide, physical skills that are taught through the martial arts schools, no matter what the system is. I said this earlier, you only have 2 hands and 2 feet. 15, 20 years from now, you're still only going to have 2 hands and 2 feet. The only thing that changes is technology and things that are what I call trending. Different things, you know, that are trending. So if your personality, I hope, will advance. John Maxwell made a statement one time, and he said something of this nature. I don't care if you're 27, 36, 48, 66, or 72, we will always be under construction. And what he meant by that is we should always be growing and bettering ourselves.
Perfect. Okay. Entonces, el maestro dice que el bullying, el tópico del bullying, el tema, tiene diferentes variables. Por ejemplo, está el cyberbullying, ahora tenemos, ¿sí? El bullying que pasa en el internet, en el ciberespacio, ¿sí? Y comenta que él fue nominado por un agente del FBI para atender y participar en la Academia para Ciudadanos del FBI, por ahí del 2016-2017, y esto tuvo un impacto profundo en él, porque además él se dedica al negocio de la seguridad desde hace muchos años, y lo que hacemos nosotros prácticamente en la protección personal y el negocio de la protección y todo esto de la seguridad personal es enseñar a proteger la paz, a proteger a tus hijos, a proteger a la comunidad, ¿sí? Entonces, y llevar a los chamacos, a los jóvenes por el buen camino, que no se vayan por el mal camino. Pero no nada más esto, también a los adultos, por ejemplo, les pasa el bullying en las arenas corporativas, en los negocios y demás, también hay bullying a los adultos, ¿sí? Entonces, nosotros le damos las habilidades físicas, los artistas marciales y el arte marcial, sin importar el sistema que sea, te ayuda con habilidades físicas para poder lidiar con esto. Además, dice, nosotros, como comenta, nomás tenemos 2 manos y 2 pies, ¿sí? Y 20 años en el futuro vamos a seguir teniendo solamente 2 manos y 2 pies, ¿ok? Entonces, la personalidad, no, en realidad nuestra personalidad es la misma, pues, pero lo que cambia, dice, es la tecnología y la tendencia, el trend, ¿sí? Y citando a tremendo John Maxwell, dice, John dice, no me importa la edad que tenga, sean 27, 37, 46, 65, 70 y tantos años, siempre nos estamos construyendo. Y a lo que se refiere es que siempre estamos en constante crecimiento y aprendizaje sin importar la edad.
Correct. Yep. So with that being said, I'll ask the both of you this. As long as you've been in the martial arts, why do you stay with it? Why are you still doing it? Second of all, or even third of all, what made the two of you come together with totally different beliefs, philosophies, systems, and pull together and forge what's called a relationship that is now of like mind with a goal behind it? Right now, what I've been listening to and watching and observing is all the diversified guest masters, instructors, students that have come on your show, and each have shared their stories. Now, most recently, Grandmaster Patrick Kennedy from Ireland has contacted me and wants to as well be involved with the bullying subject. Mr. Rodrigo mentioned how the Gracies have already built in their own bullying program. You cannot have enough bullying programs.
Yes.
Bullying is a behavior, and nowhere, it doesn't matter where it's at on this earth, every one of us, like every school, any educational institution, church, police academies, private academies, any place that is a school of learning should be teaching this subject.
Ok. Primero hace 2 preguntas el maestro. Dice, primero la pregunta es, ¿por qué continuamos nosotros todos estos años? ¿Por qué continuamos en las artes marciales? La segunda pregunta, o la otra pregunta que hace es, ¿qué hizo que el sensei Rodrigo y un servidor nos uniéramos en este proyecto, ¿sí? Porque tenemos diferentes creencias, diferente trayectoria, diferentes sistemas, ¿sí? Pero hay un bien común, ¿sí? Y además tenemos invitados, maestros, etcétera, hablando de esto y abordando este bien común, ¿sí? Y dice, también comenta que hace unos días lo contactó el Master Patrick Kennedy, saludos al maestro desde Irlanda, para su sistema, para formar parte de su sistema de bullying. Entonces dice, también comenta, Rodrigo le comentaba hace un momento antes de salir al aire, que él es parte del sistema del bullying, anti-bullying de los Gracie, y dice, no puede haber suficientes programas, o sea, tiene que haber más, nunca va a haber demasiados programas de bullying, siempre hay espacio para más, porque el bullying es un comportamiento, ¿sí? Por tanto, cualquier escuela, ¿sí? Cualquier escuela formativa de lo que sea, donde haya personas, individuos, grupos, debe de tener un programa anti-bullying para enseñarle a las personas. So you want us to answer the question, sir?
Well, my question would be, in asking you guys, have you, in your youth or any time, for example, Master Frank, how old were you when you started the martial arts?
I was 12. Me pregunta cuántos años tenía yo cuando empecé las artes marciales. Tenía 12 años. 12 years old, sir.
Okay. Have you ever encountered bullying?
Of course. ¿Has sido enfrentado por bullying? Sí, claro que sí. Yes, sir.
Okay. Master Rodrigo, how old were you when you started martial arts?
I started about 8 years when I have 8 years old. And of course, one of my reasons to start at age of 12, 15, you know, very young, I was the bully problem. I have a twin brother.
Yep.
My brother and I, we are too skinny. I guess I feel the fear. Fear, yes.
Fear.
About getting in some self-defense or bully situation. And that's the reason that I start in martial arts as a lifestyle. You know, I mean, it's beyond I'm going to learn just self-defense to how to get out for the problem. No, for me, start to be a path beyond, you know, the all my family, all my friends, and start with my brother a new life for us to start teaching and being in knowing and for owning any martial art, and we adapting or we have with the jiu-jitsu style, the grappling skills, I bet our path in the martial arts.
Well, both of you said the same thing. You encountered around the time that you were a teenager,
yes,
or at least 10 to 15 years old. It was the most influential time of your life due to your hormonal change in life from a middle school to a high school type of. But bullying starts as early as preschool. Fact.
yeah,
3, 4 years old. When children are in the company of other children, you should see the atmosphere, and just because of their difference. And this is another thing about the benefit and value of the martial arts. We meet all kinds of culture, all different genders, all different ages in the martial arts community. All right? I'm in the United States right now. Frank, where are you at?
Mexico.
Okay. Mr. Rodrigo, where are you at?
yes. I in the same Mexico is Hermosillo, the city.
Okay. How come the three of us are on this podcast right now? We have like mind of interest. Because we are martial humans who believe in our passion, that what we each went through and remember, that trauma will never go away, and how it affected us emotionally and in some case physically, that if we're so now micro aware of that, we know the signs that we can help a child or a young person do something about it before it escalates to a real bad situation.
Ok. Bien, primero nos preguntaba acerca de nuestra edad, cómo empezamos, y el sensei Rodrigo explicó cómo él empieza a la edad de 10, 15 años y después el jiu-jitsu se convierte para él en un estilo de vida, es un camino más allá y empieza a enseñar y todo esto, ¿sí? Jiu-jitsu, grappling y demás. Yo igual empecé más o menos a los 12 años, mi padre me llevó a la escuela y sí, por cuestiones de bullying. Entonces comenta que de hecho aquí hay un común denominador, hablamos también del miedo, que es entre los 10 y los 15 años, hablamos de cuestiones de bullying, ¿sí? Pero dice que en realidad el bullying inicia, esto es un hecho estadístico, en preescolar, a la edad de 3 a 5 años, ¿sí? Empieza con los niños pequeñitos, ¿ok? Y aquí es donde podemos ver también, porque el bullying pasa por cuestiones, sabemos, culturales, etcétera, diferentes grupos que se juntan. Y aquí vemos otro valor en las artes marciales, porque en las artes marciales tenemos diferentes culturas, diferentes géneros, diferentes de todo, personas de diferentes, hasta diferentes ciudadanías, diferentes idiomas y demás juntándose en las artes marciales. Y nosotros, dice, somos humanos marciales, que creemos en el arte marcial, que tenemos la pasión, pero que también hemos vivido algún tipo de trauma de jóvenes y estamos conscientes y al tanto de que este trauma no se va, uno lo aprende a manejar y este trauma a veces puede ser emocional, hasta físico, y esa conciencia y esa atención que tenemos nos permite ayudar a otros jóvenes o niños, ¿sí? Ayudarlos para que puedan sobrellevar lo que nosotros ya sobrellevamos con las artes marciales.
So my question comes always back to you guys and people like yourselves as facilitators. Let's take a possible negative and turn it into a positive by allowing them to come into our studios and clubs and allow them to talk. Just like you have mat time talk, your session right now, discussion. Sometimes it doesn't have to be dwelled upon. It could be just a matter of, okay, you had a first-time experience, and sometimes it's okay not to make it worse than what it already is. But we can give them the ability to heal, to move on, and to be an extra set of ears and eyes that if they see this behavior, we want them to go and tell someone of authority. We don't want them to harbor it. We don't want them to hold it within themselves, and because it leads to depression. It leads into loss of appetite. It leads into the lack of wanting to get school academics. It bothers their sleeping, their eating. We can go on with the bad stuff that could happen by it bothering a young child. So my point is, we want to mentor. So Mr. Frank, do you find yourself as a martial artist skilled enough that you have an influence on other people? Yes or no?
Of course.
All
yes,
right.
Sir.
Master Rodrigo, do you have the same question?
Yes.
Do you have? Okay. Let me look at my screen. Look how many fingers I have up. How many is that? 10.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frank, can we agree that you have more than 10 people that you're of influence of?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Rodrigo?
Yes, sir.
If I put up 10 fingers, you put up 10 fingers, and so does Mr. Frank, we have already started to change the world.
Yeah. Makes sense.
We want not to add value to people. We want to multiply it.
Perfect.
Okay. Entonces, él dice que nosotros prácticamente nos convertimos en facilitadores, ¿sí? Si tenemos cuestiones positivas o negativas, todo lo queremos convertir a algo positivo, ¿sí? Cuando el alumno llega a nuestros estudios, nuestras escuelas de artes marciales, lo primero que buscamos es que hablen del problema, ¿sí? Que puedan decirlo, discutirlo, no para hacerlo más grande, sino para que tengan una persona de autoridad o en esa posición de autoridad donde ellos puedan contenerse y soltar, ¿sí? Para poder seguir adelante. ¿Sí? Lo importante es que puedan seguir adelante con sus vidas, que puedan resolver eso de la mejor manera, porque si no, el bullying puede llevarte a depresión, puede llevarte a desórdenes alimenticios, desórdenes de sueño, te puede tener un montón de problemas en el joven o en el niño, ¿sí? Entonces es muy importante esto, y nosotros prácticamente de lo que está hablando es que nos convertimos en mentores, ¿sí? Y dice... levanta los dedos, dice, ¿a cuántas personas, cuántos dedos tengo aquí? 10. Ok, si nosotros influenciamos a 10 y el Sensei Rodrigo influenció a 10 y el Master Kelley está influenciando a 10, ya son 30 y ya estamos empezando a cambiar el mundo, ¿sí? Entonces dice, no nada más es sumar esto, sino multiplicar para poder empezar a generar un cambio.
Yes, sir.
Saludos, Frank. No tenemos.
Okay, we have people saying hello. Okay. Patricia Monzón. Good afternoon. Mis saludos desde Argentina. Salud from Argentina. Thank you. Nelly Cervantes, manda saludos. Sí, seguimos en vivo. Una disculpa por el principio. We're still live. Thank you. ILKSF Argentina, Kenpo Karate. Salud, maestros. Big hug from Mendoza, Argentina. Thank you. María Elena Araya Cortés, salud from Chile, Master Sean Kelley, and all the ones that are present today. Thank you, gracias.
Gracias, María, saludos.
Merv Orman, maestro, salud, my friend, watching with interest in Infinity Kenpo concepts. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Oh, we have another familiar face here. Maestro Roberto Vidal. Saludos, Frank. Salud, Frank Rodrigo. And to your guest, Master Sean Kelley. It's time to enjoy the show. Big hug. Taking care of business. Gracias. Claro que sí. Yeah, of course I know it. Yes, sir. Okay. Electric Rodeo. What's that? Omar Díaz del Canto, maestro, salud to the three of you, congratulations, gracias maestro, mi hermano, saludos, estoy pendiente con usted. Claudio Lucas Olviedo, salud from Argentina, maestro Soto Salas, and to Master Kelley. It was an honor knowing him in Chile in 2015.
Saludos, Claudio.
Juan Carlos Orozco, what's up? Hi everyone, saludos, un abrazo. Yes, sir. Rafael Cuevas, saludos, salud, maestro Soto en Salas, gracias.
Saludos, Rafaela.
Rafaela, gracias, saludos. Grandmaster Nathaniel Ortega from Hawaii, aloha, Bacaraoje, Acuda, saludos.
Uy, saludos a Hawái, hay que conocer, allá no conozco, Frank.
Hay que ir, ya que se pueda. Nelly Cervantes dice, wondering, bullying, some of us grow up in toxic families, or because others grow up with needs that weren't met at a young age.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. Very
Gracias.
true.
Muy cierto, dice. Gracias.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Liliana Roxana, saludos. Gracias.
Saludos, Liliana.
Michael Lee Martin, hello. Hola, maestros. Great to see you all. Thank you, sir. Hello to everyone from Chicago, USA. Salud.
Saludos, Michael.
Yermis Caraballo, saludos. Oh, I love the travel, not where I'm going or the vehicle that is transporting me. The important thing is to
Really?
To do and to live Kenpo with love and WhatsApp. Sure. Okay. I'm going to charge for that. No, thank you guys. Gracias. Gracias a todos por comentar. Abrazos, big hugs, Master Kelley, Sensei Salas y Maestro Frank. Thank you. Gracias, Yermis. Abrazo, mi estimado. Thank you. Daniel Macedo, último que comento ya. We have a lot of comments, but I'm just going to bring a couple more up. Good morning, great masters. Pleasure to hear you and see you again. Cheers. Gracias, Daniel. Saludos. Uno más. José Miguel Morales. Greetings, gentlemen. Always a pleasure to hear you, Master Sean Kelley. Gracias. Okay.
Master Sean, can I make a question?
In a bit.
Okay, Master Sean Kelley, your opinion, your advice, what's happening right now in two subjects. Number one, about the woman get started to learn self-defense for women, for the society. And the second one, how the pandemic or the pandemia is stopping right now the class or the teaching in martial art in Kenpo right now over there, or what advice can you give us to our audience or for us to how can we keep practicing martial arts, Kenpo, Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, in pandemic days? Because we need to care, take care about the distance, about the, all safety is the pandemic. Thank you, Frank. So what is that two question? The women and the girls start learning self-defense, because right now, the war is too dangerous sometimes, in a society. And the second one, the pandemic situation. Thank you.
Well, my answer to that is this. First of all, it's temporary. It's not gonna be forever.
Okay.
What we noticed in the United States, and it's everywhere, is human nature is to be around socializing with other humans. That's really what sets us back. We all love to be next to other human beings.
That's right.
We're missing the interaction of a hug, the embracement, the smiles, just the company. Because of that, mental health has now pretty much deprived our overall health. So I would encourage this. Change your motive from learning self-defense to learning about self-awareness of your health and wellness. So what I did here was we did outside training in our parks or in our yard, anywhere you can gather up 4 to 6 people in a given day and keep your distance. That way you're still getting fresh air, you're still moving, you're still being able to build your immune system. I was telling Master Frank that what we did with the bully program is asked a life coach, her name is Jocelyn Gonzalez, who's also a neurobiologist. And you take someone who has that skill, that experience, studying how the brain works, from Alzheimer's disease to ADHD to other ailments that affect the brain. Also, Dr. Daniel Aman is a specialist in brain activity and brain health. If you want to be sick, you'll be sick because your brain is telling you to be sick.
Yes.
If you want to be well, you can be well. But because of anxiety and depression, and because right now everybody feels like they're a dog kept in a cage, an animal, they don't know what to do. So what's happening? We have now a decline in our health. It attacks our respiratory system. It attacks our immune system. If you already have existing conditions of bad health, you're going to make it actually become worse. So the martial arts is to teach us to be a warrior. And that is to fight when things are not always in our favor. Right now, it's not in our favor. So point the finger not out at someone else. Turn it back at yourself. And if you notice, I have put out there like jump rope for 75. Grab a jump rope. I started teaching people how to jump rope and just face a wall. Do 25 jumps. Turn and go to the other side. Exactly, Mr. Frank. I'm going to ask you, Master Rodrigo, Master Frank, to join my jump rope for 75 campaign.
Well, I have for you pull-ups, the exercise at home.
There you go. Yes. So let's do planks or jump rope, which there's not a kid out there who doesn't like to do that. I even got adults, older adults, now in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, jumping rope, which is one of the best cardiovascular exercises one could do. We need to have healthy heart. Healthy heart, healthy mind, healthy spirit. We need to read more, correct. We need to read more and put into our digestive system, which now really is our brain versus our stomach, good positive words. I can. I love. I care. I miss you. I'm thinking of you. If you notice, gentlemen, every day I put out a shout out to people that are on my mind and watch the replies. If the three of us can do this, imagine more of those people on their own social media networks give a shout out to at least 2 or 3 people that they are thinking of. Watch what happens. Pass that information on, Mr. Frank. Let's challenge our listeners to jump rope for 75 and do the 25 plank.
Okay.
Join the three of us.
Ok. Bien. Primero que nada, las preguntas que le hizo el maestro, el sensei, es sobre las mujeres en la defensa personal y sobre todo sobre la pandemia. ¿Sí? ¿Qué podemos hacer al respecto con la pandemia y todo lo que está pasando y las artes marciales? Entonces contesta que esto es temporal, no es para siempre, ¿sí? Pero la naturaleza humana es el socializar, el estar con otros, interactuar con otros, abrazarse, sonreír, platicar, etcétera, ¿no? Eso nos da salud mental. Entonces, dice que hay que cambiar el motivo ahorita de la enseñanza de las artes marciales, de la defensa personal, más bien a la atención o conciencia personal, ¿sí? A tomar la salud de nuestro bienestar, ¿sí? Entonces dice que él, por ejemplo, se lleva a sus alumnos a algún parque o algún lugar abierto donde se mantenga la sana distancia, pero se juntan unas 5, 6 o más personas y hacen ejercicio, ¿sí? Y hacen sus ejercicios separados, pero mantienen esa salud, toman aire fresco, la pasan bien, ¿sí? Se mueven y estimulan el sistema inmunológico humano. También habla que me comentó, de hecho, de Jocelyn González, que esperemos a ver si la podemos tener en el show, ya hemos hablado al respecto, ella es life coach de vida y se sumó a esto. También es neurobióloga y está sumada al equipo de trabajo del maestro Kelley. Y ven cómo funciona el cerebro, los tipos de desórdenes que hay de atención y todas estas cosas, etcétera. También tiene a otro colaborador que es el doctor Daniel Ackman, experto también en las cuestiones cerebrales. Entonces, dice que tienes que mantenerte al tanto de lo que pasa con tu salud, con tu bienestar y demás. Si tú te sientes como perro enjaulado, ¿sí?, tu salud puede mermar, ¿ok? La salud baja. Si tú tienes además problemas de salud, tu salud va a empeorar con ese sentimiento, ¿sí? Porque el cerebro somatiza, ¿ok? Entonces, nosotros en las artes marciales nos enseñan a ser guerreros, ¿ok? A pelear contra lo que no está a favor de nosotros, pelear contra la adversidad. Y en este momento la adversidad es esa, ¿sí? Entonces, hay que mejorar, tomar el reto, ¿sí? Y habla del reto de 75 saltos de cuerda y 25 planchas. I already started, sir. I've been doing it. Yo ya empecé a hacer el salto de cuerda. It's not easy, but it's good. No es muy fácil, pero en realidad lograrlo, empezar, háganlo, ¿sí? Es muy bueno. Y una vez que empiezas, te empiezas a sentir mucho mejor, ¿sí? Dice que tiene personas adultas de 60, 70, 80 años, no nada más niños, también niños porque les gusta saltar la cuerda, haciendo esto. Entonces, si tú tienes el saltar la cuerda, es un gran ejercicio cardiovascular. Y si tú tienes un corazón saludable, vas a tener mente saludable y un espíritu o alma saludable. Exactamente, tienes la triada, ¿ok? También es importante leer y mantenerse positivo y cuidar tu lenguaje. Yo puedo, yo amo, yo te extraño, ¿sí? Y mandar ese mensaje positivo a los demás. Okay, I hope I covered everything, sir.
You did a good job.
Yes.
What's very important is like what Master Rodrigo was talking about with the pandemic is these people are now leaning on you guys for solutions. Well, we don't always, as a master instructor or facilitator, have all the answers, okay? But I'll tell you what we do have. We have the resources.
Yes.
We have resources. The resources is called networking. Can you imagine in your area of influence, Mr. Frank and Mr. Rodrigo, if you, when this pandemic is over, tell your communities with all the influence that you have, that the three of us are going to come together to do a weekend workshop about this very topic, and we only can encourage them to bring somebody else that they know as a friend for free to join us, and we guarantee that when they come to us, they will go away better than they came before with a smile on their face. We want to create miles and miles of smiles, which means they're happy. And I enjoy making new friendships. And they say that you can usually tell and judge a man's character is by the people that he hangs around.
Yes. Yes.
Ok. Hay una cosa, dice, que es muy importante y le comenta al maestro Rodrigo. La gente que se acerca a nosotros, dice, se acerca buscando, se apoya en nosotros buscando soluciones. Dice, nosotros no tenemos todas las respuestas, pero lo que sí tenemos son los recursos, que viene siendo el networking o el trabajo de redes, ¿sí? El trabajo con las redes en equipo, ¿sí? Entonces, dice, por ejemplo, dice, si nosotros nos juntamos al acabar la pandemia y le decimos a la comunidad que nos vamos a juntar nosotros 3 y vamos a hacer un taller de fin de semana gratuito, por ejemplo, y les garantizamos que inviten a las personas y que cuando vengan se van a ir mejor de cómo llegaron, que se van a ir vamos a crear kilómetros y kilómetros de sonrisas, ¿sí? Vamos a hacerlos que se sientan felices, que generen amistad y demás. El impacto que esto puede tener, ¿sí? Muy importante.
The Stomp the Bully program in title was for my goal. What happened was my daughter was being bullied in middle school. And as a father who has already been bullied, I wasn't going to have that because it was physical and it was humiliating to my daughter. But what I've always occurred in finding was a situation took place at my martial arts school that I had for almost 30 years. And it was about 6 o'clock on a Thursday, I believe, after my children's class. There was an elderly woman waiting in my lobby. She must have been around 70 years old. I thought she was there to pick up one of the students. Maybe she was a grandmother. And so after everyone had left, I approached her and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you waiting for one of the children?" And she was shaking. She was nervously shaking. And she said, no, that I was just robbed. Someone robbed her. And I said, "Excuse me?" She says, "I was next door at the ice cream store. And as I was trying to come out, somebody grabbed my purse off of me and they took off with it. I was robbed." So she sat down in my school and I asked her if she was okay. I had already called the police and made sure that she was okay. And I asked her to give me a description. I went out looking to see if I can find the individual she was describing. And I had said to her during our wait time for the police to come to assist her greater, I said, "If you don't mind me waiting," I was in a small plaza and there's must be about 10 different stores there. And I asked her, I said, "Well, why did you come into my school and sit here?" She said, "Well, I felt safe."
Yeah.
And she said, "I know that the owner of this location was involved with the Guardian Angels some years ago. And my grandson, she said, used to take karate with him." I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "I'm the owner. And I was with the Guardian Angels. And I'm sorry if I don't remember your grandson's name, but you are safe. And I will make sure that I take care of you until the authorities come." It was at that point that situation made me think about, we are a safe place. When my parents told me when I was younger, if I ever needed help or if I ever found myself in danger, just walk into a nearby fire department or go to a police department. Well, here in South Florida, some of those police departments and fire departments aren't so available to be seen. They're kind of like sitting in the back and they don't stand out. But there's not a street that you can't go to these days that doesn't have a martial arts school there. So it afforded me the thought that we teach martial arts, a art form of self-protection, how to be involved with unity through the community, how to reach out and help others. And if this woman in her 70s came through my door feeling already safe, then we should be doing some more service to our community by creating designated martial arts safe places for things like this. So can you imagine working with your local law enforcement or political people, let it be a mayor or commissioner or whatever you have in your particular cities and towns, and you develop a relationship where they have this situation coming to them, and they say, well, we know exactly where to give your son or daughter a place to go for this education toward bullying behavior. And that's exactly what I did. And it launched itself into a new platform. And if I can be heard, and if I can tell stories of my own experiences and other people that I've met or encountered. I did have a child that came to me who tried to commit suicide, and we did take them under our mentorship, and we changed a life. We saved one. And I believe that's what the martial arts is really about, is to change lives and bring us more together than to separate us. So right now it's all about that. Change our world by starting with our own.
Ok. Bien, comenta que el título de pisotear el bullying o Stomp the Bullying empezó porque su hija, cuando estaba en la escuela media secundaria, fue víctima del bullying, y fue un bullying físico y fue humillante, obviamente, estaba recibiendo humillaciones, y él, como padre que había sido bulleado de joven, no iba a permitir esto, ¿sí? Entonces, él fue dueño de su escuela durante más de 30 años, ¿sí? Y un día dice que como a las 6 de la tarde llegó una señora de aproximadamente unos 70 años, y él estaba terminando la clase, y la señora estaba en el lobby ahí esperando. Se acaba la clase, todos se van, y él pensaba que iba por alguien, que era la abuela de algún niño o algo así, y no, la señora nomás se queda ahí. Entonces se acerca, le dice, ¿qué pasó? Y la señora estaba temblando y dice, me acaban de robar. Me robaron aquí en la heladería de al lado, me robaron mi bolso, me lo arrancaron y salió corriendo. Entonces le dice, tranquila, le dice, está bien, le pide la descripción, él ya había hablado a la policía, se asoma a ver si lo ve, y él estaba en una pequeña plaza, su escuela estaba en una pequeña plaza donde había también otros 10 negocios y otros 10 lugares. Entonces le dice, ¿por qué vino acá, señora? Le dice, bueno, le dice, es que antes mi nieto tomaba clases en esta escuela, y el dueño de esta escuela era miembro de los ángeles guardianes, los Guardian Angels, ¿sí? Y mi hijo tomó clases aquí, entonces yo me sentía segura por ser escuela de artes marciales y esto. Y le dice, pues sí, señora, yo soy el dueño, le dice, sí, fui miembro de los ángeles guardianes y usted está segura aquí, le dice. Discúlpeme que no recuerdo a su nieto, el nombre de su nieto, pero aquí está segura. Entonces dice, nosotros en realidad somos un lugar seguro, la escuela es un lugar seguro. A nosotros de niño nos decían, ve a la policía o ve con los bomberos cuando tenías un problema. Pero dice que ahora en Florida los lugares de policías o bomberos no necesariamente están en las calles principales, sino están más escondidos. Entonces no siempre hay acceso a ellos, pero lo que sí hay son muchas escuelas de artes marciales. Entonces, ¿qué tal si nosotros tomamos conciencia de que somos un lugar seguro? ¿Sí? Trabajamos también, por ejemplo, a la par con los policías o con el gobierno, los políticos y demás, y creamos esto. Y eso fue lo que él hizo. Generó este programa de educación anti-bullying y genera esta nueva plataforma donde puede escuchar a la comunidad. De hecho, dice que les llegó un niño con tendencias suicidas. Ellos lo metieron en su programa de mentoría y lo ayudaron, ¿sí? Y cambiaron esa vida. Entonces dice, esas son las artes marciales. Cambian vidas y juntan a las personas. Nos reúnen de manera positiva en lugar de separarnos y alejarnos.
So on the subject of bullying, I think if every one of us can take the lead and be consciously aware daily about this subject, and draw people into our martial arts studios of all styles and systems, I think we'll do a great service.
Master Sean Kelley, about that topic, in your opinion and advice, what a teacher, professor, master, what kind of background skills need to have to teach bully situation or anti-bully situation? Because around the world, around the, any country or sometimes they have how do you say in English, Master Frank, pseudo profesores o gente que quiere enseñar. A person, he wants to make money, he wants to say that he's a teacher and just start teaching MMA martial arts or bully or self-defense. And for us, with this program, Open Mat Talks, our goal is to combine, the striking arts,
Yes, sir.
grappling arts, but the most important, 30 years of experience. I mean, we have a experience, like you say, to teach a child, a woman, a adult person, any kind of individual he wants to learn self-defense. But outside, sometimes they have no background martial art. So for you, what's the most important part about that topic, Mr. Sean Kelley?
Well, first of all, we have to be a good judgment of character. Nothing's foolproof. What we do is background checks, which means I will do a character background check on somebody to even see if they're, you got to understand, if they're involved with my organization or what we do, it reflects on my reputation, which I find very valuable.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid to tell anybody. I've had a lot of great friends over 40 years in the martial arts, and some of them I'm no longer friends with. And it's because I had to separate myself from their bad behavior, legally or illegally. And we have that in the martial arts. Let's not kid ourselves. We have that no matter where you go. But it's up to you to either ignore it or don't endorse it. And that's the difference back to either being an amateur or professional. As far as making money, the world is all about that. If you're making money on something of someone else's weakness, I guess that's not a bad thing as long as you're providing a professional service to the person that's receiving it. What we do is we find sponsors to pay for the children who can't afford it. And in some cases, there's no fee really other than what they would need to take the program or course. It's a service to the community. But I'm not going to tell a lie and say there's not things that are going to be needed to supply the resources toward the course. So it's not like a regular program. It's specifically toward the problem of them being bullied or the behavior of bullying, and hopefully turn a kid that went to the gang side of things because he wants to belong to something or her, and keep them away from crime and drugs and human trafficking, because they don't know any better. What it is they have broken families. They don't have a coach. They don't have a big brother or a big sister. They don't have anybody to go to and just be heard, or maybe their education is not where it needs to be. I think, when Roberto Vidal has asked me for over 10 years to come to South America, my last experience in going there was a mother and her family and her son was bullied in school. They came and transported themselves that took 9 hours to come to Santiago, Chile, just to meet me so that they can learn and ask questions about bullying. Coach Jocelyn Gonzalez is bilingual. She's from Panama. And she was my interpreter and translated what I wanted to say and what I wanted them to know, what's important for them to be heard, as well as Mr. Roberto Vidal. Here you have a man who is passionate, who loves people, he loves coaching, he loves developing leadership, and his black belt staff and his members are all on the same page, to the point they believe in serving others under all levels of even of their poverty level. So it's not about where you sit in the financial field, it's about caring about just other people. And if martial arts is the vehicle, we already have that expertise and template to encourage others to use what we can offer to them, which, if anything, is a sign of hope, faith, and confidence. And if they can start with you guys and 10 more, okay, that are like us, then we ask them to jump on board and be a part of this movement. This is a martial arts. That's why I put stomp. In other words, stomp your foot down, make some noise, join the movement, and be loud about it, because this needs to be heard. We can no longer ignore these young people, or any age whatsoever. Mr. Frank, I told him off camera that I was in conversation with champion Master Cynthia Rothrock, and she's willing to come on. Yeah, she is willing to come on your show and talk about her feelings toward bullying And the project she went and did along with Don Wilson about this very subject. Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that's what influence is when we can bring different people together and tell their stories. A lot of those stories we can relate to, and that's all we need to hear. And that may be the master move that allows us to open up and share more stories so that people can come together like what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Okay. Frank, ahorita que tengas oportunidad de traducir.
Espera, déjame traducir porque si no se me va a olvidar. Ok. Dice, primero el sensei preguntó acerca de qué se necesita para que los maestros mantengan, qué habilidades requieren para poder enseñar el bullying y demás, ¿sí? Que sean maestros preparados. Entonces dice, el maestro dice, bueno, que para él, por ejemplo, en su asociación, cuando hay maestros en su asociación formados por él, ahí va su reputación también. Los que están con él, la gente que está con él, es la reputación del maestro. Entonces dice que, por ejemplo, él tiene 40 años en las artes marciales y hay amigos que ya no son, que fueron sus amigos y que ya no son, porque se alejó de alguna mala conducta, sea legal o no, que no era conveniente. Entonces, que a veces es mejor alejarse. Podemos ignorar esa conducta o podemos no ser parte de ella, decir no, o sea, aléjate de ahí, ¿no? Y eso es lo que también te hace profesional o no, ¿sí? Entonces, hacer dinero es posible, claro que sí, pero siempre que estés generando un servicio a la comunidad, o sea, con una ética, pues, ¿sí? Por ejemplo, ellos tienen patrocinadores para su programa de niños. Los patrocinadores se consiguen y entonces ellos dan un servicio a la comunidad entrenando a niños, pero no son mentirosos, pues también necesitan recursos, ¿sí? Entonces, pero esto no es un programa regular, ¿sí? Ellos trabajan ese problema de bullying para alejar a los niños de las pandillas, alejarlos de las drogas, del tráfico humano, todos esos problemas que se dan en las comunidades hoy en día. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Esto pasa porque a veces los niños no tienen una figura de autoridad, no tienen un buen padre al que acercarse o no lo tienen, no tienen buenos maestros, etcétera, y ellos dan esa ayuda. Entonces, por ejemplo, dice, en Sudamérica está el maestro Roberto Vidal, que es representante del Master Sean Kelley, y él tiene 10 años yendo a Chile a dar clases, a dar seminarios, y comenta que una mamá y su hijo, que eran víctimas de bullying, viajaron 9 horas para poder conocer al maestro Kelley y hablar del problema de bullying. Y ahí él, con la ayuda de la coach de vida, Jocelyn González, que es bilingüe, y con la ayuda de Roberto Vidal, ayudaron a estas personas, ¿sí? Y dan este servicio importante, ¿sí? Entonces, el maestro Roberto Vidal dice, es una persona apasionada, un profesional, un líder en su comunidad. Todos sus cinturones negros están en esa misma sintonía, en ese mismo nivel, dando servicio. Y no se trata nada más del dinero, que por supuesto hay una remuneración económica que es correcta, pero lo que importa es cómo enseñamos a otro, cómo les damos esperanza, fe, confianza a los demás, ¿sí? Si nosotros, por ejemplo, nos juntamos y cada uno tiene esa influencia con 10 personas más y los invitamos a bordo, empezamos a generar este cambio, ¿sí? Por eso le llamó pisotón al bullying, ¿sí? Por eso le llamó a hacer programa, para poner nuestro pie en el piso, plantarnos y hacer ruido y decir ya no más, ¿sí? Prácticamente. Entonces, también me comentaba ayer que habló con la señora dragón de las artes marciales, de Lady Dragon, Cynthia Rothrock, ¿sí? Y la invitó para que fuera parte, que estuviera acá con nosotros en el show, porque ella hizo un programa y ella aceptó. O sea, ahí es donde empezamos a hablar de estos influencers, como lo es el maestro Sean Kelley, porque ellos hicieron una película. Ella hizo una película junto con Don el Dragón Wilson, acerca de este tema del bullying, ¿sí? Entonces, si nosotros hacemos este networking, nos convertimos en influencers, claro, ¿sí? Y podemos generar la diferencia y llevar esto a más personas. Okay.
Sí, maestro Frank, quería preguntarte si puedes pasar imágenes de su fanpage o de la página donde está el pisotón del bully para que la gente pueda apreciar lo que nos está platicando Sean Kelley, por favor.
Claro que sí. We're going to share your page, sir. for people. But before we go there, okay, ahí vamos. Sure. Okay. Let me just say, we have people saying hello. Leonardo Muñoz, salud from San Antonio, Valparaíso, Chile. Thank you for making this tremendous interview. TCB, taking care of business. Gracias. Saludos, Leonardo. Maestro Roberto Almagro, very good interview. Congratulations. Excellent job of the 3 teachers. Salute from Ecuador. Gracias, maestro.
Saludos, Roberto.
Yermis Caraballo, I heard a story of a young person, now a sensei, that entered to train Kenpo, learn Kenpo, because he was being abused or bullying. When he started classes, he saw the bullier or the bully going into the class, and the sensei went. Okay, let's see. Ran out of the gym. He was really scared, and several years later, went back and practiced as an adult, since he liked the art. I guess when this guy went into the school, he saw the bully coming in, so he left, right, because he was scared, but then he came back and eventually got to train. I guess that can happen too.
Yep.
He's asking, what do you think? What do you do in this case?
Well, it's funny how Ed Parker was bullied. Bruce Lee was bullied. Elvis Presley was bullied. Now, what we have here is 3 individuals who each all had one common denominator. They all 3 studied the martial arts. Yes. And all of 3 of them had different styles or interests in the martial arts. Fact.
Ok, es curioso, Jeremy, dice el maestro, que Bruce Lee fue bulleado, Ed Parker también, y Elvis Presley también. Los 3 fueron víctimas del bullying. Y es interesante porque aquí vemos a 3 artistas marciales con diferentes intereses, pero que tuvieron esta misma experiencia y que se convirtieron en tremendos artistas marciales. Okay, so let me share. Okay, there we go. Okay, para la gente que está interesada, ahí tenemos la página de Stomp the Bullying, pisotón al bullying o pisoteando el bullying, ¿sí? Nadie se merece sentirse despreciado o menos, ¿ok? Muy interesante, ahí podemos ver la página, ahí vemos la foto del maestro por ahí, exacto. Véanla, analícenla, está muy buena. Sir, we are running out of time. Let me just share fast your. Aquí está también su Facebook, Stomp the Bullying. Okay.
And that right there in the middle with the black sweater is Coach Jocelyn. That is the person that she's actually certified through the John Maxwell Team organization. She's very well spoken.
Okay, y la que vemos ahí que está señalada por el cursor es la coach Jocelyn González, que de hecho está certificada por el equipo de John Maxwell. Es una excelente coach. Ahí también. We hope to have her on the show, sir. Yeah, we really want her to be here. It was going to be very interesting. Esperemos tenerla aquí en el show porque va a ser muy, muy interesante el punto de vista de una mujer coach de vida con esta preparación, neurobióloga y demás. Va a estar súper interesante, no se lo pierdan. Esperemos tener fecha pronto. Well, let me just bring a couple of more comments. There we go. Hold on. There we go.
There she is.
There she is.
That's Coach.
Saludos, yeah. Coach Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Okay. Amber Lovelock, good evening, gentlemen. A question for you all, if you're taking questions. Through your bullying experiences, how do you feel it has changed you as a person and as an instructor teacher?
I made a new friend. Period. When I can make a new friend by a complete stranger, I already did what I was set to do, and that is to show value even in a young person. I have some children that have been with me for over 9 years, and what started off as a volunteer to put them in a program, they still call me every Friday and say, Mr. Kelley, do we have class tomorrow? So that tells you that if we can impact one or two people, all of us have that spiritual capability.
Great. Otra pregunta, Daniel Macedo dice, Master Kelley, do you feel that learn to defend yourself must be a human right? Or do you feel that learning to fight is discovering the meaning of what is being a human?
Well, first of all, it's your right as a person to defend your honor and your peace.
Right.
I don't like the word fight, because guess what? I could be you don't even have to be a martial artist to get in a fight.
Right.
See, I'm a master instructor, so I know how to get out of one. That is when your skills get to the point of mastery. That was the thing that Ed Parker Jr. and I talked about his father. He said his dad was so confident of his physical skills, he wanted to get to the point where his communication skills was much more equal to his master physical skills. That's that yin and yang we call Zen.
Yes. Nice. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Michael Lee Martin says, I began at 10 years old in 1980. Bullying was a part of life where I grew up back in those days. I guess it's still here with the aid of the computer now.
I agree. It's never going to go away. We know that. But the more we talk about it, the more we acknowledge it, the more we can heal others. See, here's this person talking about, I remember in 1980 being 10 years old. So guess what? That's a permanent scar.
Right. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Arturo Flores Villarroel. What's up? Salud, maestros. Great show. Big hug from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Gracias.
Awesome.
Saludos, Arturo. Romel Pineda Martínez. Saludos, mi estimado. Saludos, professor. Salud. Thank you, sir.
Saludos.
Gracias, Romel. Un abrazo, mi estimado. Master John Ward. Good to see you all again. Great show. Thank you.
John.
Yep.
Roberto
John's a
Lorca
great
Pacheco.
martial artist. Mr. Ward is an awesome martial artist. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sorry about that, sir.
That's okay.
Okay. Roberto Lorca Pacheco, greeting from Chile. Great masters. Thank you. I'm speeding up a little bit here because we're running out of time when we have a lot of people.
Mr. Frank, I want to ask you, do this again.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you remember what that means?
Yes, sir.
We already did it because how many people have already multiplied? We didn't add value, we multiplied it.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, the both of you, thank you so much for the honor. And I want to say how blessed I feel to have two new friends that I will guarantee you this. I will go out of my way to come visit you because I already know Frank's coming to Florida.
Yeah, nice.
And Mr. Rodrigo, hitch a ride with my boy Frank because you guys are both welcome to be here.
You have an academy here. It's
Thank you, sir.
a pleasure for me here and teaching.
Casa, casa.
Yes.
I think collectively we're on to something that's going to only do change to the world, starting at one city or town at a time.
Yes.
And it's going to gain not only the momentum, but if we can bring in people to do what we're doing the right thing.
We need time. Just time.
Gracias. Gracias.
Yes, sir.
Michael Lee Martin says, Saludos. Jay Blanton can be mentioned here as well. Okay, yes, sir. I appreciate what your gentlemen are doing. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Josely González dice, lo dijiste muy bien, muy buen traductor. Muchas gracias.
Yes. Frank is Mr.
Gracias.
Gracias.
I'm taking notes, lots of notes. See, let me show you. See?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good for you. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's really Mr. Frank, she's the brain behind all this. I'm just kind of like the front guy that does the karate tricks. But she has helped me with lots of things, from a better health. I've lost 45 pounds. Remember, you and I are talking about this.
Yes,
Wow.
I was in a place that I wasn't doing very well. I put so much attention on other people, and then one day she just knocked on my door. That's a matter of speech, but she basically said to me, she goes, I think I can help you in the direction that you're looking for, because I was seeking a direction of better health and wellness, and her background did the work for me, and so I put that much trust. And then, by the way, just as we're talking, do you know David Stanley, Mr. Soto?
Not personally, but of course I know who the man is.
All right, that's Elvis's stepbrother.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, he just piped in and said to tell you guys hello.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Wow.
Oh, wow, wow.
Great. Great. We would love to have him on the show, by the way. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be an honor to talk about.
He's got some great stories. Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Guillermo Salas, Sensei. Salute to the three of you. Gracias, maestro.
That's my big brother, Master Sean Kelley. Right now, he's on live on UFC Fox Sports. He's
awesome.
Very guy.
He's a commentator.
He's a commentator. Okay.
Yes. From Mixed Martial Arts.
Awesome.
Okay, Michael Lee Martin said the Guardian Angels were a huge influence on me. Thank you, Sean Kelley Sensei.
Thank you. Yeah, I was involved with the Angels for about 30 years, and then when I kind of retired myself, I went into the Stomp the Bully program, and I took all that experience and everything I learned, and it was Curtis Sliwa and a gentleman by the name of Paul Martinelli, who is actually he was the vice president of the John Maxwell team, who really is the influence behind me learning how to be a better communicator and speaker. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to connect the dots. And to do that, again, it's where all the networking comes in.
There is your contact, sir. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. That's a very nice card, by the way. Love the scent of Kenpo.
Yeah, that was designed by one of Professor Mike Friedman's, one of his black belts.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Kudos to him. Okay, so we are out of time, sir. So if you want to close up, with a message or whatever you want to say, we just want to say thank you very much. Muchas gracias for being on the show. This has been amazing. I really like how you changed the timing and the flow of the show. Thank you so much. That was amazing. That was, it's an honor, and it's so nice to be, like you said, with like-minded people.
Yeah, I have to say, my first trip to South America, I sounded like I was speaking in phonetics because I didn't realize I had to have 3 translators to determine the difference of the language from English to the language there in South America. And so later on, I had a couple of interpreters. And then finally, this last couple of years back, I said to Mr. Roberto, I got to bring Coach Jocelyn because 2 reasons. Number one, she knows me on a professional level, but I don't know the culture well enough to get my point across because of my passion. She was able to kind of connect the links. And because of her background, education-wise, I mean, she's at that level that I'm not. And so people like you or Mr. Rodrigo there, between the more people we can have on this team of growth, we're going to influence a lot of people. That's the resource. And so I want to tell you, I'm blessed, and I thank both of you very, very much for the honor of being invited.
Thank you, sir. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, sir. You have a great weekend. We'll hope to stay in touch and to continue with this. And to Coach Jocelyn González, I know you're listening. Please, por favor, la queremos aquí respetuosamente en el show. La queremos entrevistar para que nos comparta su conocimiento, su expertise y sus puntos de vista. Sir, thank you again for everything.
What's up? Applause for you, sir. It's a good honor. Then, like you say, I have a new friend right now.
Thank you, Mr. Rodrigo. Yes.
It's a problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rodrigo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so for everybody that is watching, para todos los que ven, muchísimas gracias. Al maestro Sean Kelley le debemos una camiseta. Claro que sí. We owe you a t-shirt, sir. We're going to have one t-shirt for you. Yes, sir. I know he's listening. So, muchas gracias. Gracias a toda la gente que nos ve. Se nos vino el tiempo encima. Ya se nos acabó.
Para la próxima semana, mi estimado Frank,
rápidamente, permíteme, déjame decir comentarios rápidamente. Sam Lee, saludos desde Chile. Un agrado escuchar a un máster de tan alto prestigio. Gracias. Roberto Lorca, saludos a todos ustedes, en especial al Master Sean Kelley desde CKF Chile. Mark Waldrum, Sean. He's listening. Rafael Herrera, big salute, grandes saludos, grandes maestros, thank you, gracias. Claudio Marcelo, hello everyone. It is very interesting to listen to the master because in this society, bullying is only on the rise. It's on the rise and we have to take charge. What is your suggestion for martial arts teachers, screening for Chiles? We're going to have him again on the show. Yes, sir. We're going to have him again. I hope he says yes. But to keep on talking about this, because this was way interesting. Mark Waldron, salud. Michael Lee Martin, Cynthia Rockrick says, yes, I'm a fan. Yes. I'm already nervous. Yes, sir. Michael Lee Martin, gracias. Sam Lee, siguiendo lo que dice Jermis Caraballo, cuando chico en mi colegio había un chico cinturón café de karate que era pandillero y ocupaba las artes marciales para hacer daño, su sensei no hacía nada. Qué lástima, pero para eso hay personas de influencia y personas preparadas. Mark Waldron, thank you all, gracias. Sam Lee, ¿qué ocurre cuando es al revés? Cuando un artista maléfico para hacer daño, pues hay que reportarlo y hay que hacer un buen tema. Jocelyn, looking forward to talking soon. Thank you, gracias. Thank you. Y a todos los demás, muchas gracias. Ya se nos acabó el tiempo. Pasamos ahí rápidamente los comentarios. Muchas gracias a toda la gente que comentó. Nelly, gracias. Dante Parodi Baquedano, gracias. Mark Waldron, thank you, sir. Jocelyn, muchas gracias. Nathaniel, thank you, sir. Daniel Macedo, gracias. Claudio Marcelo, muchas gracias. Maestro Juan Carlos Martínez, gracias. Saludos a todos, que tengan un maravilloso fin de semana. Nos vemos en postcréditos. Sí, señor, se nos acabó el tiempo. Gracias, Sensei. Saludos, nos vemos. ¿Algo que quiera agregar, Sensei, rápidamente?
Pues en los postcréditos, ¿quién tenemos para el próximo sábado, mi estimado? Si ya tenemos invitado.
Maestro Roberto Vidal.
Ok, el maestro Roberto Vidal, un gusto tenerlo. Y pues nos vamos a los postcréditos. Gracias a todos.
Sí, señor. Ups. ¡Vámonos!